What it do, family? It's Sagi Do Better back with another video. Tomorrow I'm turning 24. So this is everything I learned in the past year. I'm gonna give you an update on my whole experience in the past year and what growth I felt within myself and the things I learned. And hopefully you can learn something as well. Start of 24. I was actually in San Diego. It was not a good year. I decided I wanted to move to San Diego because I wanted to experience what it would be like to be independent, not depending on my parents folding my clothes, doing my laundry, feeding me, and basically just getting everything handed to me. Because my parents are great fucking parents, but I feel as if I grew depending on them because of everything they would do for me. So I was just itching. I had to get out of the house and I had to experience what it was like to be on my own. I moved out with my girl, so we were kind of together. But I had to figure out, all right, how do I fend for myself? How do I scratch and make this food for myself on a daily basis if I didn't have my parents there with me? And that was a really cool learning experience. I was in downtown San Diego. We had a little one bedroom apartment. It was above a Albertsons. There was a bunch of homeless people around it, but it was like $24.50 a month plus two parking spots. So it was pretty expensive. I ended up going through all of my savings. I had 30,000 in my Robinhood account that I built up from real estate and trucking. All that went down. By the time I moved back into the house, I had 500 left. The other reason being was I had a job for like the first 3 months, maybe 4 months. It was a sales position at the company Aeromark. And I'm grateful for that experience. I feel like I met a lot of cool people, but I felt as if the way they did business didn't sit well in my heart. There was a lot of fibbing, not telling people the truth, kind of weaving in that gray area, leaving shit out of the contract, and ultimately you're gonna end up fucking the person. And I was just like, not really cool with that. Didn't get any sales, wasn't a fan of it. After 4 months, I feel like I had enough money that I'd be able to get through the end of the lease, the last 8 months, just off of my savings. And I decided to go all in on music. So I learned how to use a video camera. I bought like a bunch of lights, a bunch of mic equipments and things like that, and then just try going all in on music. There I learned how to engineer my own like vocals. Again, it's not that good. I'm probably like a 65 overall, but I kind of learned the basics. So if I tell somebody in the studio to do certain things, if I tell an actual engineer, they'll know what I'm talking about, and we'll get the end result together. So that was very cool. And then I learned how to better make my own beats, how to chop up samples, how to learn how to ride that BPM correctly, and just how to write music correctly and how to write music that I wanted to actually convey to the world rather than just retarded music like fuck bitches get money. Of course I make a little bit of that, but mostly what I'm trying to be on is like abundance, triumph, creation. Just the energy of God is what I really want to bring to this world. I don't want to make anything destructive. I don't want to follow the devil's path to easy riches. And I feel as if in the long run that's going to be powerful. Of course, I need to find my own voice. I need to find my own way in that path, and it's a path I feel as if I had to pave. But being authentically me is going to create the best possible outcome for me in this multiverse. Anyways, I moved back from San Diego. I had maybe $500 to my name. I was pretty down and out. I was pretty annoyed, but I did have these skills built up. I did have this patience built up. And I did start journaling. I did start reading every single day. And I feel as if I've grown within myself. My bank account just didn't show for it. And I was pretty down and out. I decided I'm going to go all in on music still. And then this gym started opening up in Tracy. It was called Crunch Fitness. And I decided I wanted to be a personal trainer. If I could help people better themselves, like that's right down my alley, you know? And I feel like I have the recipe of getting fit. I know how to count macros. I know how to do the workouts, and I know how to feel them in the right ways. in order to get the best result out of the workout with avoiding injury. So I was like, yeah, this is right down my alleyway. Interview for the job, got the job, and I was like ecstatic about it. I was listening to Jim Rome every morning, and what I learned from Jim Rome, my biggest takeaway was no matter what you do, try your very best and work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So I'm going to try my very best at this job. I would try my very best to sell an individual on myself in order to get them as a client. And then I'll try my very best to get them a good workout as well. Anytime that I had a loan, had where I didn't have a client and I was still on the clock, I'm going to clean up this gym. I'm going to take pride in cleaning it. And when I put these weights away, I'm going to smile at every individual that I see. Just because I have that respect for everybody in the gym where you're only really coming for one thing. No matter how small, how big, how fat, how skinny, what race you are, everybody is coming into the gym to better themselves. So I automatically had a certain level of respect for everybody that I saw. I'd always give them a head nod, a smile, and I would always try and help out the front desk with like ringing up items, purchasing contracts, or even just like canceling their membership because say they're moving, they don't need it anymore or anything like that. I was always going to try my best to be my best. And Crunch was one of those companies that they took notice and they told me I was in the running for a promotion. I said, damn, okay, for sure. I'm going to try even harder now. So I was teaching yoga classes. I learned how to guide people through meditations. I learned how to guide them through classes. I taught HIIT classes as well. So I learned how to create a tonality of influence, of just perseverance, of playing Kanye and just being like, yo, you got it, keep going, push yourself. I'll push them through that workout and they would feel good afterwards. They would have those endorphins flowing and they would feel happy that they stuck through it. I feel like I learned how to motivate and influence people, and Crunch gave me that opportunity. 3 months in, I was like the top salesman. I never missed a day. I was never late. I was always doing exactly what I needed to do and more, and they promoted me. So now I'm a personal training manager. As a personal training manager, I have the privilege of being able to hire an assistant personal training manager as well as all my personal trainers. I haven't gotten to do it as of yet. We're in a pre-sale for this new gym opening up in Ceres. And basically, we're just going to every store, just getting everybody kind of like pumped on the fact that there's a Crunch coming to Ceres, California. It's a small town next to Modesto. But I'm in the process of hiring my assistant personal training manager, and maybe 20 days from now I'm going to start hiring the personal trainers. I'm very excited about it. I got my bank account back up. My Robinhood is looking good. I pay my parents 10% in rent. They don't charge me anything, but 10% of every paycheck that I get will be going to them regardless of how big my paycheck gets. So my goal is to, if I could get 50,000 every single paycheck and just shoot them 5,000 every single paycheck that I get, I could retire my parents. Then ultimately I want to get them a house on Mission Beach, oceanfront, beach views, maybe a little rooftop fire pit or something like that. Something where they could retire right there. They love collecting their seashells. I want them sitting pretty right there. I want my own house to be like a 3-story mansion, 3,400 square feet. I want a studio with an ocean view. I want it to be right around the corner from them. So every week we can have dinner together. For my job, I want to be able to travel the world, host speeches, seminars, host concerts, and just uplift the world. But yeah, that's an update on my life. I'm turning 24. I'm extremely grateful, and I love y'all. I'm out.